Life is fundamentally different from dead stuff, or is it? Physicist Erwin Schrödinger tried to answer this by saying, living things avoid decay into disorder and equilibrium. Imagine your download folder as the universe. It starts tidy, then slides into chaos as files stack up, but when you invest energy to clean it, order returns. That is what living things do. They fight the natural drift toward disorder. So what is life? Every living thing on Earth is made of cells, and a cell is basically a protein-based robot, too small to feel anything. It has a wall that separates it from the outside, creating order. It regulates itself and keeps a steady state. It eats to stay alive, grows and develops, reacts to its environment, evolves over time, and makes more of itself. But here is the wild part. Of all the stuff inside a cell, no individual piece is alive. It is just matter reacting under the laws of the universe. Stuff reacts with other stuff, sparking reactions that start more reactions, and in a single cell, several million chemical reactions happen every second, forming a complex orchestra. A cell can build thousands of different proteins, from simple ones to complex micromachines. Imagine driving a car at 100 kilometers per hour, while constantly rebuilding every part using pieces you find on the street. That is what cells do, yet no single part is alive. Is life just the aggregate of all these reaction processes? Eventually, every living thing dies, so the system's goal is to delay that by producing new entities, and by this we mean DNA. Life is, in a way, a lot of stuff that carries genetic information around. Everything living is subject to evolution, and the DNA that builds the best living thing for its surroundings keeps playing the game. So is DNA life? If you take DNA out of its hull, it is a complex molecule, but it cannot do anything by itself. Enter viruses and things get messy. Viruses are basically strings of RNA or DNA in a small hull that needs cells to do something. We are not sure if they count as living or dead. And still, there are 225 million cubic meters of viruses on Earth. They do not care what we think of them. There are even viruses that invade dead cells and reanimate them so they can be a host, which blurs the line even more. Quick pause. What do you think? Are viruses alive or just clever molecular hitchhikers? Drop a comment with your take and why. Let's go deeper. Consider mitochondria, the power plants of most complex cells. They used to be free-living bacteria that partnered with bigger cells. They still have their own DNA and can multiply on their own, but they are not alive anymore. They are considered dead. In a way, they traded their own life for the survival of their DNA, meaning living things can evolve into dead things if it benefits their genetic code. Maybe life is information that manages to ensure its continued existence. And what about artificial intelligence? By our most common definitions, we are getting close to creating artificial life in computers. This is not science fiction. Smart people are actively working on it. You could already argue that computer viruses are alive. If that makes you think twice, hit subscribe for more mind-bending explorations just like this. So what is life then? Things, processes, DNA, information? The more we learn, the more confusing it gets. One thing seems clear: the idea that life is fundamentally different from non-living things because it contains a special non-physical element turned out to be wrong. Before Charles Darwin, humans drew a line that made us special. After evolution, we accepted we are like every living being, products of the same process. Then we drew a new line. But as we build machines that fit our own description of life, our image of ourselves is at risk again. And this will happen sooner or later. If everything in the universe is made of the same stuff, does that mean everything is dead or that everything is alive? Is it just a question of complexity? Does this mean we can never die because we were never alive in the first place? Is life and death an irrelevant question we have not noticed yet? Is it possible we are much more part of the universe around us than we thought? Think about it and tell me, where would you draw the line?